In this Star Wars Zero Company news update video, I am going to be sharing with you some brand new gameplay details and screenshots that have just released. There is so much to take a look at and it's all very exciting, but before we do dive into all of today's news, be sure to subscribe to this channel so you won't miss any future news updates on Star Wars Zero Company. So, it has been a few days since we got that big gameplay reveal at Summer Games Fest last week, and this game has been blowing up on social media. So many people are loving what they are seeing, and today EA Star Wars have returned with a big gameplay deep dive. If you did watch my previous videos, you'll know this has been coming because I did mention it would be dropping on Tuesday, and we will be going through this article. There is some really cool stuff. So they came out with this blog post titled "Lead Zero Company to Victory" on August 27th. It starts off the article with a disclaimer saying that Star Wars Zero Company is still under development. Anything that's discussed in this article is subject to change, so just keep that in mind. Even though the game is coming out very soon, August 27th, video game development is a rocky ride and complex, and things change pretty quickly. As someone who did actually playtest Battlefront 2 months before it was even revealed, and then saw it a couple months after when it had officially been revealed, the progress and changes DICE made in just a couple of months was humongous, and it really opened my eyes to just how fast game development moves and iterates. The first section of this article is about the various members of Zero Company. They are defining characters by authored and custom characters. So authored operators join Zero Company naturally as the story unfolds. Meanwhile, custom operators are recruited by yourself and can be fully customized in terms of appearance, and that involves clothing, voice, name, face, and the authored operators will be the ones we'll be taking a look at first. So this is a new render of Hawks. He is by default this male Republic naval officer, but you will be able to customize him by a number of different races, his gender, his voice, all kinds of things. It's really cool that you'll be able to make Hawks who you want them to be. This is Trick. We've seen this render before, but still it's a slightly higher quality version. And then we have Telria Vokos, who is the Jedi Padawan. Clive Culverio, who is a Mandalorian, and she is one of the last surviving members of her clan. This is also a really cool render art of her in her armor. Then we have Luco Bronk, who a lot of people are excited to see how he works with Trick, given that he is an Umbaran, and he's also a sniper and defended against the Republic invasion on Umbara. Here is a new screenshot of Jay Mordant. So she is a ruthless noble from the House of Mordant on Shooterun. Jay went off-world to build her own mining citadel on Lunata and ruled as its All-Baroness until Fathom and the Infinite Coil antagonists of this game took the planet for the Separatists. According to this article, Jay was instrumental to convincing the Republic to hire Zero Company, and she will not rest until Lunata is hers again. Then we have this new image of Cab Uppercut, and his full name is Cabany Cab Uppercut, and he's a veteran crook and former prizefighter who now works for Zero Company. He's a Felshi, a new species created for this game, and he does feature a cybernetic arm. He also has a distinct rhyming dialect. What they've done is also create this page called the Operators page, which is just going to be focused on these characters that we all will know and love as we go through the game. Clicking on them just gives you a little bit of a profile and their render. On to Battlefield Basics. So this is just going to be about the basic gameplay. So in tactical missions, you'll command your squad in intense turn-based ground combat from an isometric camera perspective. It's a turn-based game, so your squad will act first, followed by the enemy, and each squad member has 3 action points, AP for short, to spend at every turn. You'll be using action points to either move your operator, attack an enemy within range, or use an Overwatch. So Overwatch is where you'll have your operator fire at an enemy. Overwatch is placed on an adjustable cone that triggers when an enemy moves through or takes action in that targeted area. Enemies hit by Overwatch while moving may have their movement interrupted. The Overwatch operator can fire at a number of enemies based on the amount of AP invested. Your chance to hit varies based on the length of the Overwatch cone you have to place down, and using Overwatch immediately ends that operator's turn, making it an ideal final action. For those that are new to games like this and have not played XCOM, basically when you attack an enemy, you will have a chance to hit. It will be displayed next to the target, and it's dependent on several factors such as range and cover. Additional details about the attack can be found in the shot breakdown panel. Another thing that will use AP is using a utility item, so there are medikits, concussion grenades, anything that can be helpful. There are also abilities that you can activate, so these can increase your operator's combat stats, expose an enemy, execute a powerful melee attack, and more. According to this, calling for backup costs no AP, so each turn you can call for backup, which allows one random operator to select a teammate to assist with their next attack. And it's usually by contributing their own firepower, you'll be using this action to help overcome especially hard foes. Another thing that you'll be earning in Zero Company is if you land hits on an enemy, you build up advantage. This is a resource and can be spent to activate some of the game's most powerful abilities in combat. Examples include granting additional AP to an ally for the turn, calling in a devastating rocket strike, temporarily increasing your chance to hit for your entire squad, taunting nearby enemies to attack a single operative, and you can have a maximum of 10 advantage at a time, so make sure you use it up before you just keep earning it and not end up using it. There is a cap there. Using advantage does not cost AP to use, so you can use it in many different situations. Cover is key in Zero Company, so you want to make sure that you are in cover, and units in partial cover are more difficult to hit and even harder to hit when in full cover. They say that flanking is what should be considered if you don't think you'll be able to get a good direct hit on an enemy. Some forms of cover can be destroyed by incoming attacks, so don't hunker down on one location for too long. And we've seen that in the trailer. There is actually quite a lot of destruction in this game. You can see from various grenades being thrown and things like that, where parts of the map just get completely destroyed and there is nothing left. So yeah, it's actually quite interesting to see how this will play out, and I really do like the destruction. It looks great. Here is a new screenshot of a BX commando droid taking on a Twi'lek who is down. So when an operator loses all their health, the operator is down and suffers an injury. Downed operators can't take actions but can be rallied by an ally and get back into the action. Injuries negative impact combat stats and must be managed carefully. Accumulating 3 injuries results in permadeath. That's it. Once they are gone, they are gone. You can't bring this character back once they've died. And that's on standard difficulty as well. No member of Zero Company is safe from destruction, so that includes all of the canonical story-based characters that have been created for this game. If they die, they are dead. You can't use them for the entirety of the rest of your save. In a previous video, I've already gone through these different specializations, but here's just a quick refresher. So, Assault is just the standard, what you'd expect for close-range kills against targets hiding in cover. Then we have Gunslinger, which specializes in multi-target blaster attacks and fast strikes for spread across numerous targets. Heavy is armored and also has great survivability and can soak up many enemy attacks whilst out in the open. The Medic, as you'd expect, can heal and prevent injuries. Medics can also boost their teammates both physically and psychologically. Scoundrel is apparently a wildcard, so they are adept at taking advantage of situations without much preparation and make the most of every opportunity in combat. Meanwhile, the Scout is the tactical operator of this, and basically you'll be able to plan and create opportunities out of nowhere. There is also Sharpshooter, so this is another one, and I'm really looking forward to using this one. So it allows you to have long-range engagements with a sniper rifle, things like that, and focus on taking out singular enemies in battle. And then we have the Soldier, which is an offensive unit capable of engaging enemies at close to medium range with melee, grenades, heavy blaster fire, powerful rocket launchers. Wow, Trick's basically going to be the Soldier class because we know he has a rocket launcher and it looks really cool. Here's the first in-game play screenshot of the Den, which is the base of operations. We can see the holomap here. There is the different characters you can speak to, the black market weapons dealer, things like that. There is just so much going on. This is in the Ring of Catherine, by the way, the place that we see at the start of Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. This is where you'll be recruiting everyone, customizing them, treating injuries, just doing all your preparation, and this actually will change from an isometric view to a third-person perspective. So this will feel more similar to something like Battlefront or Jedi Fallen Order and Survivor, because you aren't just going to be this sort of isometric view, you'll be literally walking around in this space in third person. Here's a closer look at the holotable, so this is where you'll be able to pick all your different missions. There's 150 planets, by the way, in this game to do things with, which is very exciting. Here is a new screenshot of some operation stuff. So this is a brief assignment that does not require tactical combat, but you'll be aiding your team in gathering information, loot, that sort of thing. So and you'll also be able to earn credits to actually spend on facilities in the command center. So some operations will require choices that could impact your bond with other squad mates, or even how the enemy does evolve. Operations cost intel to complete and provide immediate rewards such as credits, weapon mods, utilities, and more. Intel is gained by completing tactical missions. So here is a quick look. So we can see meet the Techno Union. You can go on the offensive and accuse the Techno Union of working with the coil. You can play a bluff and say you pretend to know all about the Techno Union's dealings with the coil, or use a light touch and ask them about their transportation plans. The rewards are unknown, but there are basically no risks. So you'll be able to have this text-based choose your own adventure in these missions, which is something that we've been lacking in Star Wars games for a long time. We already knew about a bunch of planets such as Lothal, but Bespin, Dantooine, and Ryloth have also been confirmed here. There are limited timed tactical missions that basically if you don't complete them, that's it. They disappear forever, so it's really interesting to see how that's going to play out. Your playthrough is going to be different to mine, and your playthrough is going to be different to everybody else's. Completing operations and tactical missions will award zone influence, and this will be in their respective region of a planet. So if you collect enough influence, you can unlock zone rewards, upgrades, powerful utilities, contracts, and the latter can be spent to gain a large amount of influence. So each cycle, which is the way this game works, there is a certain time frame. The more missions you do, then the cycle progresses, and basically you'll be able to pick from new custom operators each cycle. They'll have their own name, talent, primary specification, weapon type, and backstory, but all this can be adjusted by you after recruitment in the den. The den actually has limited space for new recruits, so there is a roster capacity limit. So if you do end up recruiting too many, then you can't have any more. But there is a way. There may be opportunities, according to this, to increase your allotment, which is always good to see. The personnel facility also allows you to see combat stats of your operators, their bonds, and a focus tree. So this is effectively a skill tree where you'll be able to upgrade their talents, abilities, passives, that sort of stuff. Once a pair of operators reach maximum bond level, you can actually unlock a special cross-training that grants masterful benefits through a passive ability. At certain points in the story, Hawks will be faced with a dilemma, an important decision to make, and every operator in Zero Company will weigh in with their opinion on how to resolve the issue. How you decide to handle the dilemma may change your bond with an operator, and building strong bonds between operators is key to success. Then we have the armory, where you can modify your weapons. We've seen some gameplay of that. There are distinct effects that can be altered, as well as just all different things. And within the armory there are 4 weapon types, so long arm, repeater, rifle, and pistol. Each obviously have their advantages and disadvantages. You'll be able to customize the weapon's cosmetic appearance with a variety of blaster models and colours found in the galaxy. And of course you can upgrade all of these and everything else basically in the game. It's all effectively upgradable, which is very interesting. There's even a droid bay that allows you to recruit astromech custom operators, purchase a roster-wide weapon upgrade that enhances the combat stats for all of your operators. But these take time. It takes at least 1 cycle, so you can't just upgrade and then go straight in with that stuff. You have to wait. There is also the med bay as well, which allows operators to recover from injuries. There is a back tank that will provide instant recovery, which is cool, and healing an operator will cost credits. There is also just a standard bed to heal over the course of 1 cycle, and a memorial. So for all of your operators that die, you can see them honoured here with a hologram. You'll be able to even see their stats and accomplishments, which is pretty cool to see. So that is everything in this deep gameplay dive article. There's so much to take a look at, so much to take in. I'd love to hear your thoughts on anything I talked about in this video. Be sure to comment down below your favourite part of it. And if you did enjoy this video, please do drop a like, subscribe so you don't miss any future Star Wars gaming news updates, including any on Zero Company. And if you did miss any of my previous videos, click on the playlist on screen right now, and I shall see you in my next video. Goodbye.